Okay, Mr. Hamilton Fletch, right? Foster said, looking at the back of the man, still pacing forward calmly, hands tucked in his pockets. Yes, that is correct. Okay, so we're looking for the lost prince. It's definitely not a job that I thought I was going to be hired to do, but since I'm doing it, there's no point in holding back. This might be the most important job of my life. So, if we're gonna go, we might as well go big. I'm calling in a seriously big favor by doing this. But, if you're looking for somebody on Earth, then the person that you want to see is the hag. The hag? He replied, sounding a bit curious, as he once again began glancing over his shoulder. Yes, the hag is she's a hag. An entity that comes from the Fey realm. Hags are exceptionally powerful and exceptionally manipulative. They're not to be dealt with lightly. This particular hag is one of the oldest, at least the oldest that I know of, and she's powerful, very much so. She actually deals in a great number of things, including information and secrets. If anybody has an inkling of where this prince might be if he's on Earth, it would most definitely be her. Honestly, I've been saving this favor for a while. I never knew when I might need to cut a deal with her, in case of emergencies. I have an introduction, a mid-level demon who has a connection to the hag, and can promise me safe visitation, meaning that I can go there without being killed. Normally, the hag doesn't see visitors unless they're important. They have to have something that she wants. Usually, she finds them. But someone who works closely with her owes me a solid debt, and in order to alleviate that debt, has guaranteed me safe entry and exit from a visitation with the hag. Meaning it's the opportunity to cut a deal with her, to offer her something in exchange for getting what I want. And she, of course, can do it. That's not the problem. She has a great deal of power in this world. The problem being that the hag's deals aren't exactly, simple. Most people try to bargain with money, something that everyone values and everyone understands. But the hag doesn't work like that. You never know what she might ask you for in exchange for what you want. She could ask for the beating heart from your chest, the skin from your bones. She could literally ask for 2 of your limbs, give you the choice to pick. What she would want with things like that is well beyond me. I don't really understand it. The way I come to hear it is that effectively, she's able to use the things that she acquires from people as magical assets in order to cast very powerful magics that require, totems or sacrificial pieces, created or given. Really, it depends on the magic that she intends to cast. At least that's my understanding of it. So, the real question is, if we go to visit the hag, who most likely has the information we need, what she would ask in exchange for it. It sounds overly complicated. What if I just cut off all her arms and legs? Do you think she would become a bit more negotiable then? More prompt to cut a more understandable arrangement or bargain? I could reattach them afterwards. It wouldn't be that much trouble. I don't know if that would work. Honestly, I don't really want to be present for anything that violent. And the hag isn't exactly a pushover. Don't be fooled by the name. She may be old. She may even look like a hag, decrepit or weak. But I assure you, she is a powerful entity that comes from the Fey realm. In a fight between her and a high-level demon, I am uncertain as to who would win. She's not weak or to be taken advantage of easily. But it's always possible that what she'll ask us for could be fair enough. She does deal in secrets and other things, after all. It's possible that she could only ask us for a favor. But it would be foolish not to check and see if we can get a reasonable offer and obtain the information that we want. The location of this prince. Yes, I see the value in it, Hamilton replied. But if she tries anything untoward, she's dead. I'm not exactly a slouch myself. Yeah, I figured that much, she replied. The only problem is that the hag isn't exactly close. She's at the far-ranging end of these territories, so it's going to be a while to get to her. There are other people along the way that we could stop and see, if that would make a difference. No, it's best not to be diverted. If the hag is the most powerful and the one most likely to have the information, then it's most profitable to head directly there. Stopping to bargain with petty anti-dealers along the route will only slow us. Focus on the goal. If we're heading to the hag, then we'll go to the hag. Nowhere else. No detours or minor stops. We're not on a sightseeing tour. Yeah, I get that much, she replied. Well, the hag is due southwest from here. That's in that direction, she said, pointing away. It's the opposite direction from that big mountain over there, she said, pointing to a mountain in the distance. A seemingly large one, with what appeared to be a reasonable-sized forest surrounding it. We can use that mountain as a direct guidepost. Basically, from where we're standing, if you look directly at the mountain and head in the opposite direction, then we'll eventually find our way to the hag. At least her general location. Once we're in the area, I can contact my friend. He's a bit unorthodox. You kind of have to be in order to deal with the hag. But at minimum, he's not dangerous, she said, as she began to turn and walk in the opposite direction from the mountain. So it's this way, she said, waving the man in her direction. The man gave no indications of any emotions or feelings about it, simply beginning to follow suit, stepping up and walking alongside her. So, are there any dangers that we should be aware of on the trek? Hamilton asked, looking down at Fosta. Well, there are a few dangers on the pathway there, but I can't think of any that would truly be a problem for a high-level demon like you. I might typically avoid them, but it would definitely add time to our travel. About a week, in fact, in order to avoid them all by zigzagging through. No, we can't afford that, he replied. Are you sure about that? There are demon bandit groups and some fairly powerful demons that claim territory on the way there. We'll have to pass right through their land, meaning there's always the chance that they could try to stand in our way. It might be more trouble than it's worth dealing with them. It's a measuring game, Hamilton replied. A measuring game? Yes, when it comes to conflict, it's all about the amount of time that any given conflict will take, whether you can handle it or not. Basically, conflict may be costly in terms of physical endurance, but that is only if you don't overpower your enemy. If your strength is greater than theirs by a wide enough margin, then the problem becomes simple to handle and fast. It would only be beneficial to evade them if they were stronger than us. Please don't include me in us. These guys are definitely stronger than I am. Well, I doubt that they're stronger than me, he replied, beginning to quicken his pace, heading in the direction forward. If they try to slow me down, they're dead. and I highly doubt that they're going to have any tricks that will bend things in their favor.